What is up, my YouTube peeps? How is everybody doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. I know I am doing quite well. I think I'm doing well. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to be here tonight. I hope everyone else is hyped up and ready to do this. I see Michael T is in the house. I know we have some other folks that are lurking in the background. Do me a big favor, everybody, and say hello. Let me know where you're from. I have a whole new setup tonight, so I had to spend an extra minute or two making sure that everything actually functioned properly. As far as I can tell, it's probably going to. And I say probably because you just never know. But I can see my microphone is working, and now my screens are kind of mixed around from last week. Usually, my tutorial screen is over there. This week it's over here. So, man, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna have to get used to it just like you guys are, I guess. We'll see how that goes. But if you do have any questions tonight, the easiest thing to do to get your questions answered is to ask them on the Monica question cam. And of course, in order to do that, you just want to @ Monica and say hello. So Monica, say hi in the chat so everyone knows who they're asking the questions to. And we've got Carl Witzman from Illinois. Hello. And Stu from Toronto. And there is Monica in the chat. So if you have a live streaming question, just ask her. I obviously have to sit back just a little bit so that I'm actually in focus. I didn't realize that. If I sit here, I'm not in focus. So I have to focus on being in focus too. Oh, this is going to be a fun night, I could just tell. We also have a segment that we're going to do with Michael T. Panetta this evening, probably around 7:30, where we're going to do a little bit of a channel breakdown, possibly a channel you may have heard of, and a personal acquaintance of Michael T, since he's been doing this for a very long time. We're going to talk a little bit about the struggles that a new YouTuber goes through. And we're not just going to talk about them, we're going to show you how it's happened even to some of the biggest YouTubers. And that should be a lot of fun, a really cool segment. I'm really looking forward to it. But we have no questions, so we may not actually make it to the 7:30 mark, which is just fine with me. If we don't have any questions, we don't need to be popping in here and hanging out, wasting everybody's time. That's all I care about, is being able to answer your questions and do the stuff. Carl Whitman says, I move my screens from monitor to monitor all the time. It drives my poor wife crazy during our shows. Yeah, Monica luckily has her own machine over there and does her thing. So when I move the screen around this week, because I got a new setup, and my microphone is now like right here, right out of frame. It's freaking awesome, and I got a nice light on my background. And so it all comes off of this pole that's up here. So I got 2 monitor stands that sit on either side, and I got a new desk and stuff like that, so that I can actually basically press a button and do a standing stand-up video or a sit-down video, or however I want to do it. So I'm really excited about how the thing is set up and how everything is going to work. But it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. I don't expect it's going to flop around too much after tonight, but we'll have to see. I do like having my monitor lower below the monitor, so when I'm doing the tutorial stuff, it looks like I'm actually kind of at least looking at you guys. And I like having the chat like right next to it. It's pretty awesome. Dawkins says hello from Jamaica. Well, hello, Dawkins. It is awesome to see you. It looks like we might have a question for the Monica question cam. So let's pop on over and see how Monica's doing this evening.
Hey everyone, it's nice to see you. Welcome to the show. It seems pretty quiet so far. Hopefully we'll get this going a little bit more and give Michael something to talk about before he brings on Michael Panetta from Tech Examined. But we do have a question. It's coming from Carl Witzman, who says, are you using the new beta version of OBS for the show, or are you waiting until it's official?
Let's see here. Let's pop back over into my overlay, and I'm going to go ahead and put that question on the screen. Maybe. We'll see. I have to turn that on, and then oh man, I don't know. See, this is a weird thing about Scrab. It does this to me every week, and I don't know why. It doesn't keep the hotkey, which is really pretty annoying. It should keep the hotkey. That's how I feel. But there we go. So I use the regular standard version of OBS. I don't generally tend to use the betas. I will put the beta on my machine as a second install in order to test new features and stuff like that. But I use the official generally for my live streams just because, man, live streaming is hard enough without having to worry about some kind of buggy software or something going wrong. So I like to try to keep it as clean as I possibly can. And it still sometimes doesn't go as right as I would hope. But to answer your question, Carl, I use the regular standard installs on these. I don't use the beta for my actual live streams. I do test the betas from time to time, though, when I see people talking about new features that are pretty cool. So there you go. There you go. I don't know whether you guys...
Don't sit up, you get blurry.
Oh, I get blurry. I'm going to have to adjust that next time we go to the Monica cam, I think. This was an awesome weekend for me. This was the beginning of football season. I don't know how many of you are NFL fans, but I can tell you right now that it was very, very cool to feel like things were kind of back to normal. I loved it. Monica and I are humongous football fans, so basically our Sunday consisted of getting up and doing some yard work and then sitting in front of the TV for essentially the entire day, eating really bad food and just enjoying what feels like something that was almost normal for the entire day. So that was absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you what, I look forward to doing it again this Sunday, because just to get a little bit of normalcy back in our life is pretty freaking awesome, I gotta say. I do have to say that was really awesome. So no questions left for the Monica question cam. We've got 10 folks in the stream, but a lot of people are very quiet. So let's see if Michael T. Panetta's around. Maybe we'll get him on here real quick to start off that segment whilst we wait for other folks to pop in and ask questions. But if you do have a question, don't hesitate to @Monica, and we will we'll answer those questions even if he is on. Even if he is on, we will try to answer your questions. But I'm really excited about what we're going to be talking about tonight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I have to actually get a camera in my thing here. There we go. Ooh, that's going to show off that microphone. Hey, you know what? This is just how life goes. How life goes. Astro Parch is in the house. Hey, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to send off this invite to Michael here real quick. If I can open up my thing and do the thing. We're doing the dance. I know. Let's see here. Boom. And we've got that sent out, so we can pop him in here. And let's see. Stream Elements says, "Thanks for subscribing, Bob Fisher." Did we get our thing?
I didn't see that.
Didn't pop up yet?
Could be just a little late.
There it is. There it goes. Look at that. That never gets old. I'm telling you. That never gets old. Oh, man. Michael T is in the house. So let me pop over here real quick and we'll bring in our guest. I just want to... I can hear me, but it doesn't look like. Yeah. Yep. I don't think. Yeah. Well, it's the camera's. This camera's not doing what it needs to do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna maximize you, and I'm gonna go fix my camera. So give me a second. You can answer the question from Dawkins, who asks, how do you set up a paywall for a live stream? I'm not seeing his audio either. What's that? Oh. All right, so I'm gonna have to. We're gonna redo that. I'm trying to figure out. My guest audio is not working, so just give me a second here, brother. All right, brother. So I think now your guest audio is working. Now we are all working. And so what I want to do first is thank the awesome Restream Studio for sponsoring this segment, which has so far been pretty disastrous, but you know, that's how it works. And Dawkins had a question, and I'm sure you started to get into it before you figured out that no one could hear you. So if you want to finish that up. His question was, how do you set up a paywall for a live stream?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay, well, I can answer that question.
Yeah.
So let's say that you wanted to have a live stream that was just accessible to people who paid. Probably the easiest way to do this is to create a paid Facebook group where people have to use PayPal or something like that to enter to get into the Facebook group. Then you could use something like Restream Studio, like what we're using here to bring this guest on, to live stream directly to that group, which is behind a paywall because people pay to access that group. For me, that would be the easiest way to do it. You could certainly also set up a group of Patreon folks if you wanted to have Patreon folks receive it. And you can go in and share a link for a YouTube video that's unlisted or a YouTube live that's unlisted into Patreon that would only go to the folks that are, you know, your Patreon subscribers. So that is peeling carrots. So that's so that's how you would set up something behind the paywall. All right, let me bring in. This looks like it's really intrusive in this camera, doesn't it?
It is. You also look like you're about a foot tall. Like I feel like. Here, hold on. There we go. Oh no, wait. You sat back up. Now you sat up. See, now I gotta.
All right. Look at this. You know what? See how live streaming is just such a professional thing, isn't it?
Well, I got a mic right there. If you feel bad enough.
Yeah,
right there.
We're sharing mics.
We're sharing mics.
And Jim Morales is in from Milwaukee.
Nice.
Nice. The mower and the sandwich maker. Yeah. I did weed whacking this week. I don't even want it. My legs literally look like I used the weed whacker on them. It's brutal.
You know what? I used to like weed whacking, but I bought this like, and I know this is totally off topic, but I bought like this steel super duper gas powered weed whacker, and it's like for professionals. I just don't like it. It's just too much. I need to dial it back a little, but story for another time.
So tell us what we're going to be learning tonight, my friend.
Well, you know, we've talked about statistics and we've talked about, how to read them and what to look for and what to look at. And we've also talked recently about, how to find content and, what to do with it a little bit and maybe kind of find your niche and whatnot. But what I wanted to talk about this week was a little bit about an actual channel that I actually saw grow from nothing to something. And, there's a mute button too. Um, and our first inclination was to like, to look at someone like Mr. Beast. And, you can sit there and analyze it all day long, but at the end of the day, I don't know Mr. Beast personally. So Michael suggested, you know what? Why don't we take a look at someone that we know then, or someone that I know or you know? And there is a gentleman by the name of Marquez Brownlee, and Marquez has been on YouTube probably as long as me, if not even longer. And he probably started at 13, 12 or 13 years old posting videos on YouTube. He might have been a little bit older. But what we wanted to talk about tonight was just go over a little bit of his journey and just know that like where he came from and how he started was a it is a good lesson on what maybe you should do when starting YouTube. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over a little bit. I made some notes and everything. I was looking at his channel again and to go through some of the stuff, but that's what we're going to talk about tonight. And
Right. And I
I
think
think
and I
we
think the main lesson probably is that a lot of people look at these big huge channels like Mr. Beast and Marquez and that sort of stuff, and they kind of try to think, well, I'm going to do what they did. But they don't always realize that Marquez didn't really become who he is based on what he's doing now.
no,
That's the kind of content that growing the way he did afforded him. And we're going to show you guys what content really grew his channel before he became what he is now. So let's go ahead and share that screen out, and
exactly.
I'm gonna maximize that. Put us down here in the bottom right, and go ahead and walk us through this.
All right. So, well, I had this. Here we go. So what I did was I went to his channel and you can see here 12 million subs. Wow,
Oh, bad.
super successful, wow, he must have blown up overnight. Well, no, because his first video was back 12 years ago. Now, this was just him analyzing his golf swing because he was a very good avid golfer. And he ended up getting an HP Pavilion. You can see here, uh, uh, DV17 Media Center remote remote overview. So he has this computer and he wants to get into YouTube. He's watching YouTube channels and watching videos and he wants to try this out. So he gets on here and he says, "Hey, this is my first video." Again, 11 years ago, I believe this is, you guys aren't going to see this, but this was, I believe, January. Yeah, January 1st of 2009. So he probably got it for Christmas.
And believe me, these did not have 3 million views when he put
No,
these
that did not
videos
have
out there.
3.8 million views,
It
but
had
that's
13 views.
That's actually a discussion for another a topic as soon as I get done talking about this. But the one thing I noticed is that all his videos, if you look here, and you could go to the channel yourself and look at it, all his videos are titled high quality tutorial, HQ tutorial. And that's what he sticks with. He did everything known to man that you could about his HB laptop and what he could do on it.
Right.
From look at my internet speed, and these are not long videos either.
No,
6
and
minutes,
you can
2 minutes,
see the
3 minutes.
thumbnails are horrifying.
There were not you didn't get thumbnails back then.
Yeah, you
When
just
when you
got what
didn't
they put up.
what you yeah, there was no such thing as custom thumbnails until you were a partner. And even then, none of us really did all that with custom thumbnails. But the odd thing is, and here's the funny thing. There is a terminology out there talking about doing 100 videos first before you do anything. Getting out there, getting in front of the camera or talking at least in a tutorial and, building up a way that you have a slang and what it is that you're doing and knowing what you're doing. And he did that for a few months. And oddly enough, Again, this is all different stuff. Now I noticed here that I think what did this say? Um where did I say got interested in Mac? I wrote it down.
Right there, get OSX theme.
Yeah, so even though he's using a Windows computer, you could see he starts getting in the Mac stuff a little bit. Like he wants to actually make his computer look like a Mac. So he does some tutorials on that, and there was lots of people back then that wanted to do things like that. But here's the thing that really gets me. Where is it at? I saw. Um, I was literally just looking at it. Let me go down here. And again, he's just doing tutorials. He's getting in front of the camera. They're not the longest tutorials, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and everything like that. But here's the thing that makes me laugh.
And they're all on the
Update
equipment that he has too. He
right.
purchased this
It's what
laptop
he
and
has. He
yep.
has one laptop, and that's what he did everything on. So for those of you out there asking, what should I do videos on? What is it that I should do? And it's like, do what you enjoy. And if it's something that you wanna learn, do what you wanna learn. Look it up and get on there and go, "Look, I'm a new user. I don't know how to do this, whatever it is," and do it. Here's the funny thing, 11 years ago, he did an update about Video 100, his 100th video. And that is something that people talk about doing 100 videos. And naturally, he just said, "Oh, I did 100 videos. How cool is that? And this is what I did, and now I have an intro." And he's got a cool little intro that he did, and he jumps into the video. And again, he acknowledges it and he continues back on doing tutorials. And he's checking out other things that have to do with Mac, and it looks like he's getting more and more into Mac. And then I notice one major step here. All of a sudden, he gives a video or shoots a video on a product he doesn't have. So he's doing what you would refer to as a editor's tutorial or an editor's opinion. So he doesn't have the product, but he's giving you information on a refresh. He does a video. He does another video. He does another video on an update. So he's just doing things that interest him and he's telling you about it. He's almost doing like a news report. So those are just a couple of the things at the very beginning. And these videos didn't have 4,000 views, 4,000, 8,000 views on them. These are videos that probably had only maybe like 20 or 30 views at the time.
When he did his 100th video, how many subscribers did he have? Abouts.
I don't know because he doesn't show his channel when he's doing that.
Right.
But, you know, there are certain times that he does go into his channel, and I think he showed here one of his videos, a new YouTube layout. But I think at this point he was maybe at 1,000 subs.
Right. That's usually about right, folks. You know, you put 100 videos up there, and that's where you might have a chance to be at that 1,000 subscribers.
Here it
you
is.
notice that his subject is always the same. He's just beating tutorials to death on how to tweak his HP laptop.
Exactly. For example here, he did talk about the new YouTube layout, and I think he's just talking about videos. He's not talking about his channel. So no, so there's no oh wait, here it is. So he had I'm sorry, March 25th, 2009, he had 495 subs.
So he had over 100 videos out, and he was still at 400.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just some food for thought. But one of the other things that I noticed that he did here was in June of 2009. Let me see. He decided, along with what it is that he's doing, he decided he wanted to focus some attention on other YouTubers that he looked up to, and he started doing Tech Channel of the Week. And he had Tech Channel of the Week number 2 and number 3. Week 3 he did one, and then week 4 he had one, and then week 5 he had one. Well, look who he did on week 5. Let me show you this real quick. Let me go ahead and kill this for a second, and let me go ahead and show you a new one. You could probably see where I'm going with this. He actually did. All right, there it is. He actually ended up doing a review on my channel
Oh,
back
that's
in
cool.
2009. So,
Did he like it?
What's that?
Did he like it?
Did I like it then?
No, did he like it?
Of course he liked it. I was his tech channel of the week. Now I had 1,922 subscribers, and I don't know why I put 34. I was 24 at the time. I don't know. That's way wrong in 2009. I was only 24 back then. I must have been a typo. But he went in and he looked at my channel just like he did everyone else, and he talked about different things and what the channel's doing and what it is that I do on the channel, going in. But this is what the layouts used to look like when this is actually even before I was partner on the channel. I didn't have a banner at the top. You didn't have a banner on your channel. You just literally had channel, video, playlist. But this, let me get, I'm getting away from this here, but this is how he started.
Right. He didn't start out getting shipped equipment from major manufacturers.
No.
He beat whatever he had to death, over and over again in order to grow to what he is now.
Exactly. So for those of you out there who ask, "Oh man, this channel's huge and how do you do it?" Sometimes it's just a natural progression. And he had an idea of how he wanted to do things. He was very organized in what he was doing, which is important, and he just put up content. He did content on things that he knew. Now, also I noticed here that, he also started doing unboxings, and at that point, I believe it was, right around here. Where's his first unboxing I saw that he did? It's right here. This LG Voyager hard case 11 years ago. Again, it's a phone that he got, that he bought, and he did it, April 17th. So we're talking 3 months, and he's already shifting what it is that he's interested in and what it is that he's doing. And, at this point, he's getting into technology and he's doing things that he wants to do. And he starts doing unboxings. But guess what? He still sticks to his tutorials. So we refer to this as a 2 bucket system that he's doing right now. And he's just putting out content. So to make a long story long, this is the idea of what it means to start a channel. When people ask, "What should I do? What is it should I do?" Don't worry about the semantics of keyword research, thumbnails, titles. Those are things that you can put in the back of your mind and learn what older YouTubers didn't. That's fine. But you really need to hone your craft and get comfortable. If you're not comfortable in front of a camera, if you're not comfortable talking into a microphone, you don't even need to be on camera. Just show your damn hands and what it is that you're doing. And if it's something that requires you to get in front of the camera, then that's why getting in front of the camera is gonna help you get more comfortable. So that's
Mm.
just a little bit of what I wanted to cover on this, because so many people ask Marquez, they just gloss over the beginning. "Oh, it looks like you started out when you got a laptop," and they skip right to, "So you hit 1,000,000 subscribers," and this is like things that I want to ask him about what it was building his channel and what he thought about it. And oddly enough, and I thought I wrote it down here, but it doesn't look like I did. Um, at one point on his channel, I noticed that he talked about statistics on his channel, looking at his views and his information, and I don't remember where it was. I just thought it was funny because, oh yeah, it was in June, I guess, of 2009. He started looking at his statistics. So YouTube did have statistics back then. It just wasn't something that a lot of people got into.
No, they
And I
didn't
just
really know
No,
what to look at.
it wasn't really a thing to get into, but I just thought it was funny. I noticed as I was skimming through his channel, I saw that video and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there was statistics back then." So here it is. This is the MKBHD tour of his YouTube Insight, they called it back then. And he had his little intro right there, and he went in and he's going to his channel. at that point, you can actually see when they go into his channel, he has, let me go back a little bit here. He had 1,400 subscribers. That was June of 2009.
So this
So,
is almost 3 years after he started his channel.
no, this was a year. This was 6 months after he started his channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was right behind me. He was growing fast. And when he shouted me out, he probably may have had maybe like 1,200 or 1,300 subs, but he was working his butt off.
Oh, yeah.
But here's statistics. Now look at this is your basic statistics back then. Views, my video, views percentage total, people's attention to watching your videos, demographics, where at, how many views are my videos getting? I mean, just look at the basics of what all that is and what YouTube would show you that you're getting. I mean, it's so basic, but at least it's something. This was always my favorite. You could tell which part of the country your statistics were coming from, but even and at some point you were able to break it down by state in the United States. But they since took that away and moved it, but that was it. That was all the amount of statistics that you could go through and really
That's pretty
nothing
cool.
else. Yeah.
Well, I think we definitely made the point. Let me bring us up here.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll move that. So Astroparsh has a question, actually, and this is kind of interesting because I think he might actually kind of have it slightly backwards. But he says, watching my analytics, I can see that half of my audience isn't subscribed to my channel. Maybe watching it through outside links. How can I improve that ratio? Now, I'm guessing that Astroparsh thinks that improving that ratio means getting more of his subscribers to watch. Astroparsh, 86% of my viewers are not subscribed.
Why
And
don't you why
that
don't you,
is how you grow.
why don't you show my page
Yeah,
right
let's
now?
do this. There you
So
go.
right here, watch time from my subscribers, not subscribed 97%, subscribed 2.8%. 2% of my subscribers are watching my videos. The rest of it is coming from non-subscribers. And the reason why that's good is that means YouTube is sharing your content with people who are not your subscribers.
Yep.
And as long as that's happening, that means YouTube is finding something good to share about you, and you should keep pushing forward. If I had 98% of my subscribers watching my videos and 2% not subscribed, I'm doing something wrong.
Yep.
And I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to, and I don't care about showing stuff here, but in the last 28 days, I've gained 206 subscribers. And while some people may see that as, oh, well, that's not all that great. And however, when it comes to what I was doing just back in May, because of my deficit from having a dead audience in May, the entire month, I lost 2 subscribers. So
And what
whatever
does
I
it
gained,
yeah, okay.
I ended up I ended up losing. So the fact now that we're literally 14 days into September and I'm already at 116 gained subscribers, that basically means that whatever it is that I'm doing, I have turned those non-subscribers into subscribers. So people who are coming to watch my channel, for whatever reason, I feel that I've done a good enough job that I now am gaining more subscribers than I'm losing. Now that has to come with being more consistent. That has to come with posting more videos, 2 videos a week, and being on a little bit more of a schedule, interacting with the audience, and trying to do content that might be a little bit more topical than what it is I was doing in the past.
Absolutely. And Carl Whitman makes the statement, I usually like to watch at least 3 videos that someone has done before I subscribe.
Hmm.
And this is a really important statement because someone else before that, Wendell, said views are all that counts. And that's the reality. The views that you get are the sales pitch. You know, every time someone picks up your video and watches it, you're making the pitch that my content is good enough to warrant you subscribing. And then usually it takes 1 or 2 or 3 of your videos to catch the person's eye before they say, you know what, I want to see what else this guy has going on or this woman has going on.
Right.
So you've got to get, the ideal thing is to have all those non-subscribers watching your content, meaning YouTube is sharing your content with other people so that they get eventually familiar with you. They see 2 or 3 videos, and then it's kind of a snowball. They start to subscribe and they're watching all your content.
Yeah.
So definitely having a higher percentage of not subscribed watching your channel means that you're starting to tickle YouTube's algorithm enough for them to push your content, and that's a good thing.
Exactly. And here, listen, also putting up content. So if Carl's going out there and looking at a channel and you have one video on what it is that he's looking for, and you didn't follow up on that video that's 6 months old, and Carl's not going to have a second video or third video to watch, and you just lost a sub.
Yeah.
If you are doing what it is that he's looking for.
Yep.
So
that's
that
another
is
reason to be consistent and always on topic.
Exactly. That's why it's important to follow that and to stick with it as a niche or whatever it is that you want to do. And again, just get out there and put videos up. You know, Marquez is a great example of just getting on camera and doing something about that you love. And here's the thing. He's not doing computer reviews now. He's doing tech reviews and giving his opinion
Yeah.
on things that he is knowledgeable about. And what it is that he's doing is working with companies who want to get the product into his hands because he built an audience of people that watch his content for him.
Yeah.
And he's doing a darn good job of it, you know? And listen, the things that he covers might be a little more sensational than what it is that you would go out and buy. So at this point, I see him more as an entertainment style of tech YouTuber and not necessarily always, not always, but most of the time it's just a sensational thing to watch. Not that you're actually going to go out there and buy what he tells you to buy. Now, he does smartphones, which he loves, and you know, other audio and camera stuff. But when he sits there and talks about, for example, 3 weeks ago, he did a video on the 6K red Komodo impressions. That's a $40,000 cinema camera. No one, you know, how many people in the audience are going to go out and buy a $40,000 cinema camera? I don't know, but the video got 1.4 million views for the simple fact that his audience knows who he is and they're just watching because it's entertaining.
Yeah, and they want to see what he has to say.
And they want to see what he has to say, but he just did a video on a Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2 unboxing. So, you know, that's something that people will buy.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, the Surface Duo, Sony headphones. There are things on there that are a consumer style friendly, but like, for example, myself, I moved and try to do more consumer friendly products. So I like to do that. And I feel like if I'm going to put a product up there, it's something that would be a little bit more attainable to most of us compared to, you know, a small thing. But Marquez is doing what Marquez is doing because he's getting results from it.
Absolutely.
And that's what you should do until you get results that you're looking for. And if you're not getting the results that you're looking for, you need to take a hard look at how you're doing it and what you're doing. And then
yeah, and Astro Parsh basically responds with about the same thing. He says, "Oh, I see. So at the end, it's about understanding how my content is more attractive and categorized for YouTube to share." And Astro Parch, that's exactly it. If you do content on the same subject constantly and you are competitive with the other content in your niche, and when I say competitive with the other content in your niche, I mean your thumbnail is getting a high click-through rate, your title is clickable so that people want to see what the video, what you say in the video, and the video content when they get in there delivers what you promise in the thumbnail, and it's good. It's high quality. It's got decent audio. It has a reasonably decent picture. It's fun to watch.
Exactly. Yep.
If you're doing that, you're going to be competitive in your niche, and that's really all it takes. And then you produce 5 or 6 videos on the same subject, and you're going to get folks like Carl who are interested in that subject that want to see 2 videos, and then they're like, on that third one, I want to subscribe. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. But YouTube can't learn what your content is about until you do that content for a reasonable period of time. And that makes a lot of sense if you really think about it.
Yeah.
A lot of small
100
YouTubers
videos.
complain about not getting shared by YouTube. Well, first of all, a lot of new YouTubers are still trying to figure out how it works. So they're not even producing content in the same niche all the time. And until you start producing content in the same niche all the time, YouTube really doesn't care what you're doing, because they realize that you're not going to build an audience if one video is on how to cook bacon and the next video is you camping in the Adirondacks.
Right.
Well, those 2 videos don't relate. They don't know what you're doing. Once you start to produce content in the same niche for a period of time, and YouTube starts to understand who your audience might be.
Yep.
You're going to have those 3 or 4 videos that when they bring someone into your channel, you're going to have that opportunity to keep that person on your channel for some watch time. And that's what YouTube is really looking for. So don't give up hope if you've been producing YouTube content for a little while, because it takes a long time. It took me 2 years to grow past 1,200 subscribers.
Yep.
And I suspect it took you just as long, Mike.
I didn't get partner until July of 2009. So I worked for 7 months, worked my butt off. And that it's so funny. I heard it today. I was listening to was it Pat? No, it wasn't Pat Monahan. Whoever is Maroon 5's lead singer, he was being interviewed, and he talked about how he plays guitar, and it's the idea, and he threw out there the whole 10,000 hour philosophy. You got to spend 10,000 hours on something to be proficient at it. And that's the 100 videos thing. It's the same philosophy. Do 100 videos, and maybe you can find your style and your editing style, your audio, your video, and what it is that you want to do.
Well, and
set
another
out
very
to do
important aspect of that is also doing 100 videos on the same topic,
which is what Marquez did.
Yes,
and
if
whether
you do
he knew it or
videos,
not,
but they're all on different subjects.
But
you're
whether
gonna be a better video maker, but they're not going to go anywhere.
Right, whether he knew it or not, he was doing the quintessential footprint of what it means to build a niche on a channel. No one talked about this 11 years ago in January of 2009. There was Shay Carl, there was Phil DeFranco, there was cat videos, and it's funny, someone posted nothing but cat videos. That's the quintessential niche.
Yeah.
You had Fred, the kid who played Fred, doing the sped up voice videos. That's all he did. And they did it because they thought it was funny, or they did it because they thought it was good. And that is how they built what they had. And whether Marquez knew what he was doing and getting results from it, and some of the videos, a couple hundred views here, a couple hundred views there. And next thing you know, he has, a couple thousand, and then 10,000, 15,000 subs, and then so on and so forth. And it took 11 years to get up to 12 million subscribers.
Absolutely.
So, and there's
But that's
other
a lot of
scary things
folks.
that you deal with when you think, oh, they got they got 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 subs. You made it. And then you get, oh, you got 1 million subs. You're a superstar. Well, there are other things to deal with that are very scary. And that's what I think, if you guys would be interested, if Michael got Marquez on the show, would you guys be interested in hearing a little bit about his past, and maybe about some of his difficulties now as someone that has 12 million subscribers, what it is that they look at? I know I am. I don't know
I
if
would
you
be
guys
very
would be.
interested to hear his journey from YouTuber to business person. I think that's
Right.
fascinating.
Me too. I don't know what you guys think. I mean, it would be a very basic talk because that's how I feel like I would understand it. I know most of you are probably way smarter than me, but that's what I think would be helpful. So let me know in the chat.
Yeah, we'd love to know. Well, Michael, I think we're gonna wrap this up, but I do appreciate it. I think hopefully you guys understand that when you go out there and you look at Casey Neistat or Mr. Beast or Marquez Brownlee, hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight into understanding how they grew their channel instead of what you see now. A lot of people are trying to emulate what he's doing now, but that's not what made him a 12 million subscriber YouTuber. The stuff he was doing 5 years ago is what created the 12 million subscriber YouTuber, and it still works today. You got to go back and look at that sort of stuff. So thanks a bunch, Michael. I really do appreciate it. I apologize for the weird technical glitches that happened at the beginning. I just can't imagine
No
that
biggie.
stuff would ever happen. I don't
No,
know.
but it wasn't.
How does that happen?
It wasn't Restream. I know that because
It definitely was not Restream.
I got right in. Everything worked. It was on you.
It was on me. It was on me. Thank you,
So,
brother. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
We will talk to you again next Tuesday night.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Let me pop this over here. All right. Thank you so much, Michael and Restream Studio for helping me out. I also want to let everyone know that any of the weird bumpers and stuff that you see on this, like the intros and the countdowns and all that kind of stuff, they were all created on Placeit. If you're interested in knowing more about the kind of crazy things that you could do with Placeit assets, there's a link in the description to check it out. And of course, there is definitely a link for Restream Studio in the description. It's the easiest way to add guests to your live stream. You really can't go wrong. You really can't. Wendell Live says these are old topics. Everyone does these. I'd prefer something more fresh. I prefer advice on how to handle technical aspects of YouTube and live streaming. Absolutely, I definitely want to cover all that stuff, Wendell. But I also want to appeal to the folks that are struggling to try to grow their YouTube channel, because I definitely feel like there's a piece of the folks, especially that come in here for live streaming, that can learn something about that. And to be honest with you, the best way to grow a YouTube channel is definitely not with live streaming. It's definitely not with live streaming. Live streaming is a really, really fun aspect of being able to connect with your audience on YouTube. But the analytics and the philosophies behind how folks grow a channel, especially when they started out at 14 or 15 years old and grew from nothing, to me, I find extremely fascinating. But I have to sit back because otherwise I'm blurry. Do we have any other questions? If you guys do have a live streaming question, I would be more than happy to answer it. You can @ Monica. We have Ryan in the house. Hello, Ryan. It is good to see you, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. We have Spenny Bling Music is in the house as well. And Carl Whitman. I'm pretty sure I said hi to Carl. We talked a little bit with him on some of his questions. Astroparsh had some great questions, and I really do appreciate you guys answering questions. Look at that. Timber Hill Redbones was in the house earlier. Moss is in the house. Hello, Moss. How are you doing? And Budget Bushcraft, a flash from the past. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you are doing really well, my friend. It is absolutely awesome to see you. I don't know how to use the virtual camera of Streamlabs. Please teach me. Well, that's pretty simple. It depends, obviously, what you're trying to use. The problem with the virtual camera, Ryan, in Streamlabs is that it does not carry any audio. So, let me bring up my Streamlabs here so I can kind of give you at least a little bit of a walkthrough as to how to use it. We're going to pop over here into the tutorial. And there we go. Now I want to embiggen that a little bit here. All right, so I've got two scenes here. And my video camera device here is the wrong one. So let's fix that. We'll put that one in there. So boom. Now we've got my other video camera in here. So if I wanted to produce this stream, let's say for the sake of discussion that I wanted to send this to something. I don't know. It doesn't matter what. I can go in here. I can turn on my virtual webcam. It is now running. Let's open up. You know what? Let's open up Restream, just because I want you to see that this can be done. So what I'm going to do here is, let me add a tab. We'll bring this over here, and I want to put. What do we want to put here? We want to put that right there. All right. So now we've got, that's not what I wanted to do. It's definitely not what I wanted to do. Let's put this over here and that. Okay, so now we've got our Streamlabs here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Restream dashboard, and we are going to enter the live studio. And since I'm using the camera, it's not going to see it, but I can take that virtual camera, which is this one right here, OBS camera. And I can bring that in there. And the digital audio interface I can take, and that's the problem right there. I'm not going to get any audio from this audio capture right here. Retry. There we go. So I can see it. It looks fine. It looks fine, but there's no audio with this. Now I have my microphone right here, but if I wanted to use Streamlabs audio for a scene like this, where I have the video playing in the background, well, it's not going to get that. So you have to have something like Voicemeeter or something installed in order to capture your desktop audio and put it through here. Now I'm gonna actually do a video on this exact topic. It should be coming out within the next couple of days. That's gonna show you how to use the actual virtual camera to produce this and get your audio in there. So just so you know, it's in the works. But that's a little bit of a taste of how you can do it. Let's see. Let's go to Monica question cam. I want to make sure she's still awake and see if we have any questions.
Is it me? Am I on?
You're on, baby.
Okay. We actually have a question/comment from Mr. Johnny25, who says, if I wanted to interview you for my channel on a live stream, how would I go about doing that? Exciting.
Mr. Johnny25, if you would like to interview me, you can just send me a message on Twitter. The Twitter handle is right there. Or you can message me on Facebook. That's right there. Or my channel has my email address listed in the About page. So you could send me an email and we can work something out, I'm sure. It would be a lot of fun. I'd love to appear. I'd definitely love to appear. You do it, once again, for the very first time. Freaking awesome. Hey, you do it. It's nice to see you, my friend. I just want everyone to know that joke has been around literally since time began. You Do It has been on my show for the very first time. Every time that he's come in for almost 2 years. So I love him for it. Thank you, You Do It. I do appreciate it. Do we have any other questions? Let's see what Monica has to say.
There are no other questions at this time.
Oh, man.
Sorry.
Well, there you go. There you go. Well, I guess if there are no other live streaming questions, I'm going to go and, hey, Squidge is in the house though. Did you know you are cool? Yeah, not really. Any tips on growing a YouTube channel? Squidge, you missed the entire discussion on growing a YouTube channel earlier. And so, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not going to repeat it, but you can go back. Michael T. Panetta is somewhat of an analytics expert and got really deep into all of the things that you can do to help you grow your channel. So definitely go back and check that out. Jim's got to bounce. Well, we'll see you, Jim. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I think it's actually time for me to bounce. But I don't know. Let's see. Johnny, Mr. 5, thank you very much. I'm a small channel, but your experience would be amazing. Well, John, there is no such thing as a small channel. Like I said, subscribers don't really matter. I've said it in videos before. The main thing that matters is views. And, you know, you're going to get consistent views by creating consistent content that's on one niche and watching what your peers are doing and trying to do it better. And that's the honest to God, that's the best secret I can give anyone, is to go out there and decide what you want to do videos on, look at other people making the same kind of videos, and make your videos better. I believe Astroparsh might have a question, so let's pop over to the Monica cam.
Astroparsh does have a question. Question is, do you consider putting subtitles in other languages into videos is a useful idea to grow a channel?
Astroparsh. Let's put that one up here. And so there are services out there that will do the they'll do the closed captioning for different languages so that your broadcast can be read in other languages. And I have heard that this can make a significant difference. But here's the thing that you want to be careful about with that. Depending upon what audience you're trying to reach, Astroparsh, put it this way. You get ad revenue once you're monetized based on where your audience is located. So you generally want to tend to reach audiences that have money. So if you're trying to really reach an audience in Brazil or Africa or places like that, the ad revenue is of almost no value whatsoever. So there's that. Honestly, the best way to grow your channel is to create quality content in your niche that's better than the other content providers in your niche. And you'll definitely grow. You don't have to use any tricks like doing that sort of stuff, paying somebody to do closed captioning. With that being said, I love the idea of when your channel can support it, paying to have someone closed caption your stuff in different languages, because it does give other languages the ability to access your content, especially for someone like me who does content that's meant to help people. I think it's kind of cool to be able to do that, but I definitely wouldn't start to do it until the channel's able to actually pay for somebody to do those things. And once that happens, then I think it's a great idea. I do. Because let's face it, we want as many people to see our content as possible. That's why we create content. I create content that hopefully helps lots of people to do the kind of things that they want to do, whether they're school teachers or business people or just other YouTubers. It helps them to grow their YouTube channel and become a better live streamer and reach a bigger audience. And the more people that can get that message, the better. And of course, I love that. I love that. And that's what we all want as YouTubers, I think. But let's see. So it's 8:04. It has been a pretty sweet show, guys. I hope you enjoyed the conversation with Michael. I really have. Hey, it's Pauline Newman, the YouTube Angel. Hello, Pauline. It is awesome to see you. I'm so glad you came and popped in. We were just about to sign off. We are waiting patiently for some live streaming questions, but they aren't rolling in super fast tonight, and I don't want to take up anyone's time with my yammering on and on. I have absolutely not have to go. Have a blessed evening. All right, Dawkins, thank you so much for stopping by. And I think that's going to be it for us as well. Let's say hi one more time to Monica and the Monica Question Cam.
Hi. I can say hi again, or I can say bye. It was great seeing everyone, especially some old friends who stopped in. It was really nice seeing you. Hope you stop by again. Thanks everybody for coming by. We'll be doing this again next Tuesday, so think of your questions and bring them back next week. We'll see you. Take care till then.
Look at that. She's like a professional at this. I'm telling you, I didn't even have to tell her what to say or train her or anything. She just does it. She's amazing on camera. Ah, what an awesome woman. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. I want to thank Restream.io for sponsoring the segment with Michael T. Panetta, where we talk about how you can grow your YouTube channel and the different things that you can do to become a better YouTuber. I'm hoping that it helps folks, and you guys are going to just have to leave a comment in the description to let us know what you want to see us talk about in that segment. I would love to do it. I also want to thank Placeit for the amazing screens that they provide and for the sponsorship. They just do an absolutely amazing job. The links for Placeit and Restream.io are in the description, so I highly recommend that you check it out. And you know, the reason why these folks sponsor is because you guys support them, and I do appreciate it. So thank you so much. And Pauline, I do believe that Monica will be hosting her own show someday soon. That would be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Thank you guys so much. You know, we live in a crazy world right now, and a lot of people are just shouting at other people and telling them how they should live and how they should act and what they should do. And I don't believe that we'll make any change in this world ever if we're just going to shout at the people that we disagree with. So my task for you is to listen more and to talk to people that you disagree with. And you will probably come to find out that even though you disagree, there are so many more things that you can agree on. And true change will never come without respecting other people's values and opinions and viewpoints, even if we disagree with them. So let's make the effort to talk to people instead of shouting at them. No good ever comes from that. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I really do appreciate it. And we will see you next Tuesday night to answer your live streaming questions. Have a great day, and we will see you then.